Hi, Jay Fallon, and thanks for listening. So, listen, I did an episode just regarding some shootings, some incidents that happened here in Queensland over the last couple of days. So, one, obviously, an officer got shot in Maryborough. Uh, so everything seems fine there, as in he's going to survive. But yeah, unfortunately, an officer was shot, and that person then took his own life later on. So, but everything's wrapped up with that. But then we had another incident in Cairns where police have shot an individual. I felt like I gave them the benefit of the doubt. They're responding to an incident where a man is running around armed with a knife. Now, at that time, I couldn't find much. I had received some messages. I'd received a message from someone saying, "Hey, an innocent bystander was shot." And I'd been looking around. I couldn't find anything about it at the time when I was looking for all this yesterday. However, so now we've got more information has been released, plus some footage of what's gone on. And oh my goodness, this is pretty wild. What's going on here? Listen, it's hard. I don't know how. Looking at the footage, now we're going to look at this together. I think the Queensland Police Service is going to find it hard to justify. They're going to find it very difficult to justify the use of force that was done here. They will come out and say, use of knife, all this imminent danger, lives are at threat. Not every time. Just because someone's carrying a knife doesn't mean there is definitely imminent danger. Lives are at threat right at that point. Let's look at the footage, and I think the this is why the officer later on in the interview with the news gives such a measured response. And I think the officers who fired the shots, they're going to have to answer. And this poor lady, innocent bystander, who got shot. Anyhow, let's check out the footage together.
Got my eyes straight ahead, got my head in the game. With the red light on, I'm just waiting for the change. Keep my head down low.
Okay, so this was came from Seven News. So check out. So I've just got this on pause at the moment. So this everything's lined up, and you're going to see a black vehicle, so a black police vehicle, come through over here. So obviously, road going there, road in behind him. He's in a park area in the middle of this. I think that's a roundabout just over where I've got the arrow and the mouse going there. You're going to see a vehicle come over and hit the gentleman, and he's going to start running around. And take notice when they open fire. I'm going to hit pause, hopefully, as we go along.
There he is, he's got a big knife.
Police confront an armed man on a Cairns street. It's tense and unpredictable.
Okay, black vehicle, lights, gentleman's there.
Oh, they just hit him with the
With
car.
the
Look.
car.
He's running down.
Running
and
down.
refusing to back down.
Hear that? There's shots going. I think the gentleman over here coming out of there, they've shot. There are vehicles coming up to this intersection as they're shooting.
Firing roughly a dozen shots.
Hear that shooting going on. He's running, vehicles going by in the background. I don't know about you, but when I was first trained on use of firearms, you need to check your surrounding. And someone running away, look at this. He got hit in the backside. He got hit in the bum, apparently. He's running away. Can we just go back a couple of seconds here?
Firing roughly a dozen.
He's cowering down. Now, I'm not saying that he's not a threat. I'm not saying that, yep, he's not holding knives and people aren't possibly in danger. He's not a danger to the public. I'm not saying that, but let's go back a little. He's just been hit by the car.
Down.
They're shooting. Wow. This is... Go back
They
to the
just hit him
car.
with the
He's
car.
just been hit
Look.
by the
He's
car.
running down.
And refusing to back down.
So they've just started shooting now, and he's running. He is not... It doesn't look like he's running at them, but he's running, and he's armed. Okay. I'm just trying to give them the benefit of the doubt here. This is not good.
Firing
You hear that? They're shooting. He is running away from them, and they're shooting. There's a chap over here, over in this section here. There you go. I don't know whether he's shooting from that end, but he's got his gun out. He's aiming, and you've got people in front of him. Other officers in front of him. A car there.
roughly a dozen shots.
Oh, he's still running this.
Still running.
Struck
They're still shooting. They were still shooting, and there were cars.
shots.
Mate, look at this. They're shooting. He's here. There are cars there. Cars there.
Struck twice in the elbow and leg. He finally falls to the ground.
The officers have felt the level of that threat required them to discharge their firearms.
It wasn't just Richard Allen Tom who felt the force. An innocent woman was also struck by a stray bullet at her doorstep.
At her doorstep. What, is no one checking their surroundings and looking, going, well, okay, we've got vehicles driving around. We're in a very busy intersection. For some reason, they haven't shut off the street. You've got all these coppers standing around. Why the heck didn't they stop traffic? What's going on? All those police standing around, but no one stood up and said, hey, we should have vehicles back and stopping, preventing traffic from flowing while we sort this out. Traffic flows, it's a residential area. He's running away. Okay, he's armed, but he's running away.
It was like a war zone and I didn't know if to drop and roll.
Both suffered serious injuries. Police are...
Yeah, like a war zone. Unfortunately, the man with the knife probably isn't the warrior. He's not the real danger here is actually the police shooting into a residential neighborhood, shooting while vehicles are driving past. And no one has thought, hey, we should stop the flow of traffic. Hey, maybe we shouldn't shoot at the man who's running. He's running. It's hard to hit a moving target. He's running, and mate.
This is Tom just minutes earlier, shirtless and fast on his feet, breaking into nearby homes.
He just come charging down the corridor. I've jumped up and told him to get out of the house. Who the heck are you?
Leslie and Dennis say the 28-year-old demanded they hand over car keys before he stole 2 knives.
He had the knife right up. I thought he was going to kill him.
Suddenly he just turned and ran out. I ran after him and slammed the door
and
shut.
I was just thinking, oh, thank God.
Tom running off before he allegedly tried to force his way into a second home.
It's really scary, especially with young kids.
The shooting was also witnessed by families. The police service won't say whether the officers involved will be stood down or have their firearms access suspended.
They won't say. Wait, I think I said in the other episode I did that, it's funny, the story that came out of Maryborough where unfortunately an officer got shot and the bravery of other police who went to put their head up while they were being fired at and still went to the aid of the officer who'd been shot, dragged him 100 meters. That is, while they're being shot at, that is some serious bravery there. You got, mate, just unbelievable. And great. He survived. And they gave all the details. They were straight out, all the details. Should these officers have their permission to use firearms be revoked at the time?
While the investigation plays out.
100%. Let's go back and listen to that again. 100%.
Firearms access suspended while the investigation plays out.
Should they have their firearms access suspended while the investigation gets played out?
It was an incredibly dynamic situation.
One the police union insists should never have happened.
Frankly, this person should have been in a mental health facility to start with, and they shouldn't have been out in the community.
Revealing Tom had been released from prison on Friday, and just hours later...
The man was apprehended in Cairns Central after being found naked and jumping on vehicles. It took 6 officers to restrain that male person.
He was then taken to Cairns Hospital for a mental health assessment. What happened next would leave a lasting impact, including on a woman mistakenly caught in the line of fire.
Well, I'm really, I'm, I'm flabbergasted. I'm not sure what to say about that situation. I feel bad. I feel bad for the officers. I feel bad for the officers because they've been placed in that position where they're chasing someone around who shouldn't have been out. That's what it seems like. Okay. So there's many failures here. There's a lot of government failures, the failures of the system. He's just been released. He shouldn't have been released. Why was he released in the first place? He gets released and he goes straight out, and he is a danger to the public straight away. He's threatening, he threatened that couple, put a knife to that man's throat, put a knife to his throat. He is definitely a danger to the public. However, that being said, everything being said, you look at that situation right there. And I'm not saying he shouldn't have. There are so many failures. There are way too many failures. Who was actually in control? Who was calling the shots other than the people who actually took the shots? Why wasn't traffic stopped? If he is in that park, why wasn't that whole area shut down? All those police officers standing around, all those vehicles there, why wasn't there a senior officer directing everything? Saying, okay, we need to cut traffic. We need to stop traffic. Pulling your gun, he's done all this stuff previously. Okay, they would have had a certain amount of information. I'm not sure whether they would have known that definitely this is the same guy. Is this the same guy? Let's say that they knew, okay, this is the same guy. He's been running around. He's already threatened someone. But right then and there, you have to be looking at the threat that is right in front of your face when you're going to pull a weapon. What is the threat right now? He's running around with the weapon. At the same time, you're assessing the situation. He's got a knife. He is a danger. He's in danger to society. He's in danger to other people. But we've got him semi-contained, not properly contained, in this park area. But he's got a knife. Should we be pulling out our gun and shooting? The problem is with shooting in an area like that is bullets don't stop for good people. Bullets don't stop, because there's a car going past and this isn't the movies where it just, you're sitting there and it just hits the bit of metal beside you and then just magically disappears or just shatters the glass in your car and there's no bullet anymore. They just keep going a lot of the time. They'll keep going through the door. There's cars driving past, residential area obviously in the background because someone got shot at their doorstep. There is no way in my mind that you can be there assessing the situation and think, yes, I need to pull my gun and shoot at him. He is running around. He's not running. He was trying to get away from the car. I think it's very easy to justify trying to hit him with the car. I mean, it's not something that's taught at the academy. It's not something that you learn. I don't ever remember learning. I've talked to some other police about this situation, and it's like, okay, no, you're never taught to run over people, but you can justify it. You can justify that use of force. So in my mind, that was actually quite a good move. That was some good thinking. Yep, bang. However, it didn't work. So you've got your gun. So why was there anything else? I don't see how they're going to be able to justify pulling their weapon and shooting it. I'm very surprised another police officer wasn't shot. When you could see in that footage that there were police standing around. There's one guy at the back and he's got his arm and he's facing, arm out, gun facing in that direction with other people in his line of sight. I don't know how they're going to justify any of this. I really don't. He was a danger to society. He was a danger to that neighborhood. But can you justify pulling your weapon and shooting when you've got so many unknown variables getting around? Traffic still flowing. Why wasn't traffic stopped? Why wasn't one person there in charge locking down that area, shouting out orders, saying, "This is what, why is, what?" Someone said to me, it feels like it's, he watched the footage and said, "This looks like it's just the Wild West." And that's exactly what it does. It just looks like the Wild West. Who was in charge? Who was making the calls? If that was a CERT vehicle, which I think it might have been, the black one, I don't understand why they've just, yeah, there's too many questions. I think they're going to, I think QPS are going to find it very hard to actually justify. When you look at it, when you slow it down, okay, everyone's under pressure. This is still a man who was surrounded by police. There's police everywhere, other vehicles on the road. There's other, I don't know how they're going to justify it, that use of force. Not when there's so many other elements, so many other people, lives in danger by them. He had a knife. He wasn't able to throw the knife and hit the vehicles or throw the knife and hit the lady who was standing at her doorstep. At that very second, it was the police who were the greater danger to that neighborhood. It was the police who were the greater danger to the cars driving past right at that second, unfortunately. Let me know what you think. I don't think they're going to be able to justify that shooting. Not the way they handled it. No way they're going to be able to justify it. Anyway, let me know what you think. I'm not saying it wasn't a dangerous situation. I'm not saying it wasn't hard to deal with. However, that's what you're supposedly trained for. And I think maybe this comes back to what I've been saying for a long time. The lack of training, people who are in the job who maybe shouldn't be, not able to assess situations, break everything down very quickly and assess and see, okay, this is what we need to do. Why wasn't there someone there calling the shots, locking the street down, yelling out orders? This is what we're going to do. There was no actual direction. Everyone was just running around making their own decisions. Bang, bang, bang. You know, the car goes, hits him, everyone's out, bang, we're going to shoot. But no one's looking, thinking about all the other people getting around and the fact that they were putting other people's lives in danger. And they were of greater danger to society, to that neighborhood, than the man with the knife. It's going to be very hard for them to justify. Let's see how the union president twists this around. Let me know what you think. Anyway, I'm Jay Fallon. Thanks for listening.
They just fuel the desire that will take me higher. I'm on fire because nothing's gonna